and Arab Women in Computing, in collaboration, of course, with the Al-Akhawain University's School of Science and Engineering, where we invite keynote speakers in the digital field or technical field to share with us their experience and knowledge. Today we are happy to, hello everyone. Today we're happy to have Mr. Tarik Koubaa. He came here to Ifrane to train, and we wanted to catch up. Seize this opportunity and make him share with us what he knows about digital transformation, agile project management, etc. We will give a few minutes for other attendees to join, because I see here that there are still people joining. If you can bear with us some couple of minutes so that we have other people to join, and then we can start. Well, myself, I'm Huda Shakiri. I graduated from Al-Akhawain University like in 2003, more than 15 years ago. And I've been working in introducing IT into local governments through digitization. And then after graduating with a PhD from Sidi Mohammed bin Abdullah University of Fes, I joined Al-Akhawain University as a full-time faculty in computer science. Just to give you a little background about our keynote speaker, Mr. Tarik Koubaa is an IT strategy and governance professional. He has 15 plus years experience in agile digital transformation, and he's based in Dubai, in one of the leading banking companies in the Middle East. He graduated from Ecole Centrale Paris back in 2007 and got a certificate in digital transformation from MIT back in 2019. We're happy, really, we're very excited to have him, and prepare your questions, and you can share them through the chat. I will be happy to transmit them after Mr. Koubaa's talk, and open the floor to Q&As after say 45 minutes presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Shakiri, for the nice introduction. Yeah, all you have said is correct, except the fact that please prepare your questions. Maybe not that many questions, guys. It would be nice if you. No, I'm just joking. Joke apart. I would like to thank Al-Akhawain University for the opportunity, Mr. Tajdeen and Dr. Al-Asli for the opportunity, and of course the Al-Akhawain University Alumni Tech Talks team, with you, Dr. Shakiri, with Ibtisam and Safa, that have done a really great job in preparing the flyer, the invitations, Eventbrite. Thank you very much. We are now 6:05. Let's give like 1 or 2 minutes. I see some people, I'm checking, some people still trying to connect. We have reached, we are going to reach a critical number. Okay, so just one minute or two, if you bear with us. Is that okay, Dr. Shakiri?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, in the meantime, you can enjoy reading the picture in the opening slide. I hope you all can see the slides, right? You can confirm in the chat box. I have some people saying no, some people saying yes. Some Pascal Pierru is a not for me. I already shared my slide. Let me, yes, we can. Let me, some people are saying no, no. I will reshare again. Maybe let me reshare again. I am resharing my slides, so make sure that we all have the, is that the right one? Yes, yes. Now can you see it? There is sound coming from my sound is coming. Okay, great. Yeah, okay. It's 8 minutes past 6 here in Morocco. Okay. So, hi everyone. I think it's the right time to join. I'm just checking the number of attendees, which is still increasing. It's great to see people turning out to this webinar. So yeah, so the topic of today is digital transformation in general, and I would like to start by what are the objectives? What will be the objective from your side and from my side for today's webinar? And we will try as much as possible to make it interactive. It's a kind of difficult with the number of people we have, and we're gonna try and manage the questions and the chat that we have here. I'm handling 2 screens, and the team from Al Akhawan will be helping me in also directing me to the right questions. So the goals for you as the attendees is to get in knowledge. I don't like to use the word knowledge because knowledge is something that is, I always say it's relative and it's not absolute. I'm sharing with you a years of experience, failing, recovering in the world of transformation and digital. So what we will see is that what is digital transformation? And what are the key elements to succeed the digital transformation? It will be a surface. We're gonna scratch the surface of digital transformation because all of these key elements need another webinar or a lesson or even 4 and 5 hours talk. Okay, this is just to give you the toolkit, and you will go after that and start deep diving in the elements that you want to deep dive on. Okay, from my side is again a kind of a knowledge sharing, exchanging with you guys, students and professionals here in Morocco and elsewhere in the world. I see people from USA, people from Dubai, people from Oman. I see there my uncle also from Oman. I see people from Belgium and people from France. So this exchange is really important, and it's also helped me to update my knowledge. And my secondary objective is I'm going to try to make my wife, to leave my wife awake, because I had a discussion with her. She's coming from a very conservative industry. And you know, digital transformation in their conservative industry is not that big for the moment. So from time to time, I will be checking on her if she is still awake or she's sleeping. You can now say hi if you are awake now, and then I will check in a couple of minutes if you are still awake. Hi, yeah, you're still awake. Thank you for confirming. So that's it. So you have seen the picture, and this will be the base of our discussion today, right? So, and this is very familiar to you. So what we define and what is the concept of digital, and how people or organizations think digital transformation is. You can see there the boss, asking what will be the big idea of campaign. So someone is just throwing a kind of a social media technology, and then, yeah, this is digital transformation. We are going to debate on this today, if is that okay for you. Okay, so in terms of the agenda, it will be very straightforward and easy, as I mentioned. It will be why the need to transform as an organization. Why do we need to transform? And then there is the digital transformation hive. So this is something that you will not find something. It's just something I created 1 year ago, what we call the digital transformation hive. Then if you want, I can give you the background why I use the word hive quickly. The background is that I was thinking about two insects, the bees and the ants, and both of them are chapters and surat in the Quran. Why? Because the way they behave, their operating model is so lean, is so effective that they can be our role models. So why I did not change, why I did not choose ants and I did choose bees, this is just for the content, because a bee, they have a beehive, and then I can use the hive, the form of the hive, to put it in a model or in a presentation in a nice way. So what's the digital transformation hive is that it has elements: the customer experience, the business model, the culture, skills and talent, operating model, and technology. We are going to discuss all these points together. We're gonna scratch them at the surface level, okay? And then we can, after that, you can go and deep dive. I will give you some tips and tricks, some authors, some doctors that are speaking on these topics, okay? Let's proceed. Now, what I would do now is that I want you to watch a video for like 2 minutes, and you will see, and then we will discuss it. You can then comment via chat, or I will allow you to take the mic and speak on it. Okay, let's watch all together. I hope that the sound will be working. I am launching the video. Yeah. So I have people telling me no sound. Let me just give you the sound once again. I will just do it this way. Let me do it again. I'm relaunching. It's coming. Sound?
But Holland comes in for a pit stop. Time to refuel and change tires. Lou Moore himself changes the tires. Only 4 crew members, including the driver, are allowed to work on the car. It's a tense time. Holland stays in his seat, anxious to get away. Let's watch. The tires are changed at last. A crewman polishes the windshield as Holland moves away just 67 seconds after he stopped.
So every time I see the video, I'm smiling. I don't know why, but I'm really smiling. So how do I want you to interact on this is just how do you explain the difference between 1950 and 2013? I think the driver for the 1915 is Holland, and it's Kimi Raikkonen for Ferrari in 2013. So you can use the writing in the chat box, or you can take the mic quickly. So just 30 seconds or 1 minute discussions, and then yeah. I see here same problem, different approach. Very good. Still waiting in the chat or someone who takes the mic. Focus on people. Great point. Speed, yes, of course. Anticipation, yeah, more proactive. Perfect. You're spot on, guys.
Maybe the clear roles and responsibilities being defined.
Very good, Ashma. I know where you're taking that from. Very good answer. Automation, agility, right word, synchronized efforts, cross-functional. Great, perfect. So you have said it all, guys. Better technology, of course. We're using technology, right? Sean Robertson. So cadence, really important in when we speak about agility and organized agility. We should have the same cadence. It's really important when we're scaling agile. Thanks, Yassine, for the cadence work. So yeah, exactly. Those all the words that you have mentioned are correct. It's tremendously amazing when you see the picture. It's what we call, it is the same sport, but it is not the same sport. Now let's take it to the industry. Take it before. It is the same industry, but it is not the same industry, right? It's so the idea that what I want to add to all the correct points that you have mentioned is what we call the external environment, what I call the rules, the regulators. Before in the FIFA, sorry, football, in the Formula One board, there were different rules. They did not allow so many people. They did not allow a synchronous job or parallel jobs to be done. Now all of this, they have been improved via. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Benjeloun Kamil. That's the organization that is governing the Formula One. Thanks a lot. So the idea is that everything should follow, even when we have regulators. Now, the most challenges that we're facing when we're scaling agile, on where we're doing digital transformation, is sometimes the regulators itself are not following the trends. They're still using the old way of working or thinking. We're going to see that. That's all for the video. This is only setting the scene of how we can transform, or how technology help us, and how digital human focusing on people, clear roles and responsibilities, how it helps us from 1 minute, I think 38 seconds to almost 9 seconds in a pit stop. So now, the question that we are all asking is why the need to transform, right? So you see me writing, the world is changing, right? So we cannot, there is a sentence, a really important sentence, we cannot remain stagnant in a changing world. So this is the point. The world is changing fastly, so we need to be following that pace, okay? So what we have, so the customer expectations are disruptive. The way customers are looking to our services, are perceiving the value that we are delivering is different. We have plenty of channels, technology, social medias, right? The market itself is very, very disruptive. So I will let you also read the major external challenges and the internal adjustment that we need. So as I mentioned, there is an underlying technology revolution. You have added it somewhere in the chat box. Yeah, and we have constant emergence of new business models and digital attackers. So now, if I ask you quickly a quick question, I see some, yes, VOCA word, yes, yes, Dr. Abdeslam, I agree with you. So now, if you see the 2 points that I'm having there. Customers' expectations are disrupted and market is disrupted. I want to add 1 point that is now very, very common nowadays, that is pushing the need to transform. Can someone help me? Any idea? Yes, I see the right answer there. So efficiency is a good point, but what is disrupting us that much to push us to change? COVID also. Most of the organizations this year, environment, yes. So the COVID have started their digital transformation because of COVID. What does it mean? It means that they were very reactive and not a proactive approach. Last year in 2020, we had a survey of what is the major reason why you started your digital transformation. What was for you for if you guess what was the answer? I think it was like 60 to 65% mentioning COVID. So I see there competitors also. Yeah. I see Usama saying forced to go digital, right? So competitors also are an important player in moving towards digital. Yes, meeting client expectations is a good point also from Doha. Thank you very much. So now we're moving to the next slide. So what is the ambition of organizations to become a digital leader? Why there is this race to become a digital leader in the world? So the first point is always with regards to our end customer. We always look for enhancing the customer satisfaction. We need to create competitive advantage in the market. So I'm going to stop there because I told you that I'm going to try to share with you some tools that it will help you to deep dive in some points. What is a competitive advantage? One of the authors and the doctors that I like a lot is Michael G. Porter. Michael G. Porter is also, I think he's a Harvard professor also. He has written 2 great books. If you really like and love strategy, this is a must read. There is what we call competitive strategy and competitive advantage. What does it mean, competitive advantage? Those are the factors that the organization they build to help you have a better product and a better cost. And Michael G. Porter was talking about 2 things. He said cost advantage and differentiation advantage. The cost advantage is very, very easy to master, right? And differentiation advantage, it's what are you bringing new? What are the R&D innovations that you're having? What are the values that you are bringing? So please, if you want to deep dive in competitive advantage, think Michael G. Porter's and the 2 books, and especially competitive advantage. Yeah, it's a great book, Michael G. Porter. Okay, so now I'm moving to become a leader in transformation and innovation for the industry. Right, this is really important. Be a beacon for digital technology, be a role model, be a pioneer in digital technology. And of course, if I have the 4 above points, my place or my organization will become a proudest place where the employee can work for. So this is why we have that race to the digital transformation. Okay. So now I'm going to move to what is the digital transformation and why we call it a based or a solid concept, right? I have added there two definitions from Gartner. I would just I hate reading for people, right? Because I know that you prefer reading by yourself. I will just give you 30 seconds to read both definitions. Mr. Tajuddin, thank you for the question. So the name for the books are really good books from Michael Porter. Michael Porter. The first book is Competitive Strategy. Michael G. Porter. Yeah, Sean, would you please check if it is J or J?
It's E.
It's E. Porter. Okay, Michael. I think it's I was thinking it's Michael E. Porter, but I call him Michael Porter. So competitive strategy and competitive advantage. Great books. Great books. Okay, Mr. Chastain?
Yes, thank you.
You're very welcome. So now I think that you have read the definition of a digital transformation. But what I want to share with you is what we call the delusion of digital transformation. This is something that Rob Llewellyn, thank you for sharing the books, my friend, on Amazon for the books. Really great books. So now what I want to share with you is the delusion of digital transformation that has been first created or added by Rob Llewellyn. Rob Llewellyn, he's the CEO of CXO Transform. CXO Transform, and they have great certifications on digital transformation. So what is the delusion of digital transformation? The delusion of digital transformation is the tendency to label any project or program involving digital technologies as a digital transformation. What does it mean? Anything that any company that is going in Twitter, going in YouTube, going in Facebook, they think that this is a digital transformation, right? There is McKinsey guys. They have written a really great article on that. What they call digital sugar coating. Digital sugar coating. What does it mean? It means that the companies they introduce sometimes some social media for the sake of social media. Maybe they start gathering terabytes and terabytes of data without using it, and then they delude themselves that they are doing a digital transformation. Whereas having this kind of programs that are dealing with technology, we can call them as a digital change and not a digital transformation, right? There is a difference. There is a huge difference. And even I am mentioning and quoting Rob Llewellyn there. If there is a sentence that I want you also to take away with you today is transformation creates a new future, while a change creates a better version of the past. So you need to keep that. If there is a really good takeaway for you today is that transformation creates a new future. We transform. A change creates a better version of the past. I'm again going to give you another point that has been done by MIT professor George Westerman. This is why I'm having the picture there from the caterpillar and the butterfly, which is a really, really good image to remember when we speak about the transformation. He says when the transformation is done right, it is when we turn a caterpillar into a butterfly. When a transformation is done wrong, we are just building faster caterpillars. You see the difference? Transformation is really transforming from a caterpillar to a butterfly. A change is only a better version of the past. So a digital change is sometimes are really vital for the organization because they can fix the shortcomings. What do I mean by that? They are really good in short term, really mid-term also. They will help us fix shortcomings, right? Reducing cost, increasing efficiencies. That's really good, but they are not transforming. What is a transforming? What is a transformation? A transformation is that something will help us or protect us against disruptions, or it will help us disrupt the market. You see the difference? So a transformation will help us or protect us against disruption, or will help us disrupt. Okay? So when we speak about transformation also, we can speak about the comfort zone. This is another topic also. When we do changes, we're still within our comfort zone, right? But when we need to transform, we need to take ourselves or get out the comfort zone. If we are within our comfort zone, there is no improvement. Okay? I hope that this clarifies a little bit digital transformation. What I want really you to keep also is that when we speak about digital transformation, the key word in digital transformation is not digital. The key word is transformation. We transform. People, they forget about the word transformation and they think about digital. I will use Twitter, I will use YouTube, I will use this, and I have fully transformed my organization. So digital transformation, think caterpillar to butterfly. I transform something. Okay, I'm just checking the chat box. If I'm seeing that you have added Amazon in there, yeah, the books. I really hope if I had also shares for these books because I'm doing some good publicity for it, but it's not the case. Now I'm moving to the, I want you also, and now the next slide, I want to clarify something, right? That I already discussed also with Dr. Shakiri in one of the classes this week, is that what we call digitalization, sorry for the pronunciation, it's very difficult, and digital transformation. Sometimes we put them all in the same bucket and they are not. So I'm just trying there to give you a quick definition or a quick toolkit, just if you are talking with someone, you know what's the difference. Digitization is the first level. It's where we are doing the conversion of paper documents or something to digital format. And it is a first step and an operational necessity to do any digital transformation. If we don't have data digitized, we cannot go further. I'm giving you some example there. It's transforming any content into PDFs. Sometimes recording of meetings and calls can be also a way of conversion to a digital format, right? Why? Because in the future, in the digitalization, we can have tools that can get data from recordings from calls. Sorry. So the next step, which is the digitalization, how do we define it? Is that improve business processes by leveraging digital technologies. We speak about data, we speak about cloud, we speak about APIs, we speak about BPA and RPA. BPA is business, is business processes automation and robotic process automation, both of them, yeah. So I'm giving you an example of the digitalization, and now you can see it in most of the websites when companies are using chatbots to communicate with you. Those chatbots, sometimes they have a predefined or prescribed script, or maybe they add to it a layer of machine learning and cognitive algorithms. The other example is implementing test automation to reduce manual testing. For the people here that are doing computer science, they will understand the difference between manual testing and using some tools and processes to automate the tests. Okay, now when we come to digital transformation, the first part what I'm missing is a customer-centric value proposition. What I'm saying there is that leveraging emerging technologies to build new business models and improve customer and employee experience. I'm giving you an example there, like digital banks. Now we have in the world some fully digital banks. You don't need to go to a branch. In fact, they don't have a branch at all. It's only on mobile apps. So here, something you need to keep there is I'm speaking about customer and employee experience, because most of the time we speak about customer experience, we forgot the employee within the organization experience, because it's really, really important, and we're gonna see it. We speak about customer journeys, mapping customer journey, but we always map the customer journey to an employee journey. Okay, I hope so far so good. Anything? Yeah, I'm just checking on Amina if she's still awake or she's sleeping.
Still awake.
Okay.
We're doing good.
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Very good. So now what we're all waiting for is the Hive, right? So I gave you the history why I have chosen the Hive. So some Benjeloun, Camille, we usually use these terms interchangeably. Yeah, exactly. You're meaning these terms, right, Camille? Yeah, so exactly, that's what I'm trying. Yes, okay, thank you very much. This is exactly what I want. We need to understand the difference. If we understand this, we started by understanding what is a digital transformation, and we should to focus on transforming. And then what are the 3 layers or the 3 steps? So we confuse them. And yes, I agree with you, Kamil. Thank you very much. So the digital hive, what are the elements in the digital hive? So we start always by the customer experience. We have the business model. We have the culture, talent and skills, operating model, and the technologies, of course. This is how I see the key elements of a digital transformation. And we're going to see one by one. Okay? Now I'm going to start with the cell one, as I told you, is the customer experience. You can read there in the slide. So every interaction or touch point your customer has with your brand, it not only includes the interactions, the normal interaction that you have with them, but also the customer experience. You need to understand how is he perceiving and feeling your product or your service. Customer experience with high value is led by a transformation of the customer journeys. Remember, we spoke about the customer journeys. The true value of customer experience is the perception of what a product or service is worth to a customer versus the possible alternatives, the moments that matter. Now, I want to take a point to speak about the value. As I mentioned, I will try to give you some toolkits that I really like, and they help me in my journey. I want to speak about the value. You know, when we have a customer, how does he see our product or our service? There are 2 elements. What we call the cost, how much it will cost him, and we have the perceived value. What's happening is that all the organizations, they focus on the cost because it's really easy to manage and govern. Cost reductions, looking for cheap suppliers, improving the supply chain, improving the logistics, you know, and it's very, very difficult to play or to manage or to handle or to master the value. Now, what I want to share with you is that there is a framework that I really like. It is the elements of values. Remember, it's elements of values. It is being developed by Bain company. You know Bain, one of the top 3 strategy company. We have McKinsey, BCG, and Bain. So Bain have developed element of values. It's a really great framework to help you define the right value for your product, right? I'm just going to give you an example of why it's really important. Cost is really important for customer satisfaction, of course, but the other values which are not functional, they are really important to loyalty. If you want to keep your customers loyal, you need to look at other values, and that element of value, the Bain framework, will help you. I'll just give you a small example that you will all understand. There is an element of value that in that framework that is called hail room. It's very difficult to pronounce. What does it mean? This is the hail room is the legacy that you will let for the other generations. So when you go and you buy a Rolex, a Breitling, a Rolls-Royce, those companies are playing on that element, which is hail room. When I will buy this Rolex, no, I don't have a Rolex, sorry. Because when I buy that Rolls-Royce, it means that I will leave a legacy to my children and to my grandchildren. This is also a value that matters a lot for people. If you can see there, I have given the Harley Davidson example. It is so strong as a brand that people, they are putting it in their bodies and skins. They have several techniques. They have they call people during their anniversaries. They know that they are interested to have a bike, a Harley Davidson, right? And they call them for a complete 1 day or a weekend experience on a Harley Davidson with someone who has the same age and the same interests. So these guys, the way in this after that experience, they end up buying a Harley Davidson. You know how we change the way we are dealing with customer experience. All right. You can, of course, if I'm going so quickly, or you can just message me, or if you have any questions, you can just message. I'm reading the chat box. Okay, so sorry for the slide. I know it's a very bad slide. Why? It's a bad practice. A slide should not be that condensed and that have plenty of information, but this is just to give you an example. I don't want you to read all of these. This is just to know how important is mapping the customer and employee journey, right? It's really important to improve that relationship. This is a case where we did for a private bank, right? When they have seen like the customer and the relationship manager unhappy, especially under the interaction. If you see the red there, how is the red here? I am this is dropping down to access to my profile and the rest. So this is how we map a customer and employee journey. This is a visualization, and we see where we need to improve our interactions. Any questions on the on that? Because I don't want to spend time just giving you how it is really important to think about the customer journey and also how does it map to an employee journey, and then you start working on improving the relationship. Or see, there are steps there and there are segments of that journey that where we are doing good, the green ones. Sometimes we're doing okay now, and some ones we are red. It means that we need really to improve SAP. So far so good, everyone? Okay, I see all of you.
So does the top red box break down to those five
yes,
red
exactly,
boxes underneath?
Yes,
to explain
exactly
what's going on. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So thank you, Dr. Tajuddin. Exactly. We can do the same thing in, for instance, choose private bank. The same thing we can do. You can just go one level down. There is the level 0 and the L1. That's the idea. Okay. So just please don't forget mapping both. Customer is our end goal, but how inside the employee's journey is really important, because they are the ones that they are going to help your customer and satisfy your customer. Now I'm moving to the sell to from the digital Hive, right? Which is the business model. We have been speaking about business model for so long, and we have books about business model. But guess what? I'm just going to give you a simple definition of business model. A business model is how you are planning to make money. Full stop. Then we can do in plenty of theories. We can go in books and read. I need this, but a business model is how you are planning as a company to make money. That's it. I'm just giving you some examples there. Microsoft, we all know Microsoft, right? They started by trying to sell softwares, maybe $120 or $100 a software, something that is costing them $1 or 50 cents. I'm going to come back to that. Lego, toy production company. We all know Lego, right? From Billund, Denmark. Internet companies, how do they make money, right? They attract huge number of people to their website, and they're trying to sell the spaces to companies to sell their product or advertise their products. So why I'm using these? So all of these companies, let's take Microsoft and Lego. Their business model evolved, because if it did not evolve, they would die. So there is one famous quote is transform or die. That's it. Microsoft started by building softwares. Now Microsoft has Xbox, right, guys? People who likes e-games, they have Xbox. It's a new business. They have Azure cloud. You know Azure, Microsoft Azure cloud. So they have diversified their portfolio and the way they are making money, right? Lego, you know all Lego, playing with Legos. You know that Legos now they have theme parks. They are called Legolands everywhere in the world. You know that Lego also, they are doing movies. You have seen the Lego movies lately. This is all to tell you that they have transformed their organization. I will give you an example of an organization, a famous organization that missed that digital transformation curve or moment. Or maybe I give you two. Let's talk about them.
BlackBerry.
Sorry?
BlackBerry.
Very good. I wanted to say Nokia also. I wanted to say Nokia. Thank you to Dr. Tajuddin for BlackBerry. And I would add also Kodak. You all know Kodak. In the 70s, 80s, 90s, is the best company in terms of photography and stuff. But they missed that leap or that curve of digital transformation, right? So where is BlackBerry now in the market? They are still fighting. Where is Nokia? Nokia phone. They are still trying to come back, but it's too late. I have a question. A good business model should answer the questions. Who is the customer? What does the customer value? How do we deliver better value and experience to customers and make money from it? Yes, exactly. So that's what we're discussing, Yassine, about it. But the business model, as I mentioned, if you want to make it easy, how you are planning to make money. If you want to make money, you need to understand your customer. And you need to have the right infra and your right technology to serve your customer. Right? So this is the business, okay? So now I want to mention something really important with this in the digital era is that the difference between mono-channel, multi-channel, cross-channel, and omni-channel. Does someone has an idea of the difference between that? Or maybe examples? Mono-channel, multi-channel, cross-channel, and omni-channel. Now we all speak about cross-channel and omni-channel. There is no business which is not cross-channel or omni-channel.
Yes, Mohammed Tarik. Concerning Omnichannel is one place where all the channels are consolidated in only one place. Okay. Let's have, for instance, digital channels from Facebook, Instagram, etc. And they're all consolidated in one tool, for instance. So all interactions are coming to only one tool from different digital channels. Okay. Multi-channels are multiple channels, as I said. Yeah, multiple. And only mono-channel is only one channel. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if it answers the question. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I will comment on that. Yeah, please. Who is speaking?
Can I add something?
Yes, please.
Actually, omnichannel is the highest level of delivering what we call a seamless experience, which means that it's uninterrupted. And we develop a strategy which is adapted to all the channels that brands are delivering services in, either offline or online, in terms of serving the customers the way they are expecting us to deliver those services.
Okay, perfect. Great answer. I will take from it seamless. I like the word the seamless. It's a seamless interaction. So now I will go one by one. Okay, let me start from the mono channel. Mono channel is what we call a single channel, right? I'll give you the old way of doing things. I know I know that I have plenty of people from all around the world, but I'm speaking now to Moroccans, like in Arabic. You know, mul hanout. The grocery of the yeah, the grocery of the neighborhood, like we call it mulhanot in Morocco. So that's a single channel. It's a brick and mortar. You go there, you take your milk, you take your bread, and you go. That's a mono single channel. Okay. And maybe sometimes he has a little connection there and he's lending you money. Okay, that's the mono channel. The multi-channel is that what we are having now. A multi-channel now is that you can go to the store, brick and mortar. You can call, right, to have something. You can go to online, or you can call a call center. That's a multi-channel. But now you're going to tell me, yes, but Tarik, what is the difference between multi-channel and cross-channel? Cross-channel is adding that interaction between the channels. What does it mean? If you start a transaction via phone, you can go to the store and complete the transaction. This is the actual status of where all the organization in the world. Across channels is that we are using the different channel, not seamlessly, yeah, but seamlessly, let's say, and interchangeably. So I can start let's say for banking, for instance, I want to start a loan, a mortgage, what is it? I can start it online. Okay, and then I stop. Maybe I had a call, I have a meeting. I can go to the store, to the branch, and then I can continue. They have the same information, right? So and so on. The omni-channel, as Kauter mentioned, is an aspirational state. I know that there are some organizations that they have that. What does it mean? Omnichannel is that we are all cross-channel, but there is an interaction between the customer and the company via apps, via QR codes, and maybe sometimes we use Bluetooth beacons, you know, so they know where are you online, are you in the store, or are you somewhere. This is adding another dimension, what we call the simultaneous, the real time. They can understand where you are in your transaction and where you are physically. This is what we call omnichannel, and we call it aspirational because this is the target where we want to be. Now, all the organizations are cross-channel. You can find them everywhere. Is that clear to everyone in terms of mono, multi, and cross-channel and omnichannel? Yes, very good. I've seen, yeah. So exactly. I see Rita mentioning omnichannel can be seen as cross-channel, of course, but simultaneously. Yes, simultaneously meaning real time. Of course, we add that. We need to know where is the customer in that moment. Crystal key. Thank you very much. Now, I just want you to understand the competition because you have wrote about competition. If I think about banks, what are the competitions of banks? You know, so digital banks. I mentioned that there are banks that are now in your mobile. You don't need to move to a branch. You can download all your information, ID and whatever. So you have the fintechs, the financial technology startups. You have plenty of lending club. You have Apple credit card. I can give you some. So PayPal is a competitor. Financial Ants is a competitor. Google Ant. So the idea now, the brick and mortar or traditional banks are not competitors between themselves, right? They have a new generation of competitors and they have to deal with that. That's why you see all of the brick and mortars or traditional banks, they have all launched their digital banks. Why? They need to take a little bit from that stake or from that cake of the market share. Okay. Now, because we are being invited by Al Akhawain University, I did a bit my homework to see how we can discuss about universities, right? Because the universities also and education industry is also impacted by the digital transformations or the digital era. So, and we know that now knowledge with all the tools and the technologies change the way we create and disseminate knowledge, right? So once before, the universities were in that dominant role in terms of knowledge, in terms of studies and education. Now, the competitors, we all know them. We call them the digital knowledge providers. They are available 24/7. And what we call, there is now a clear saying, which is anytime, anywhere. I need to deliver my service anytime, anywhere, 24/7. We know them all. Coursera, we know Udemy, and plenty of all. So lately, I have been doing some resources on Coursera on some Moroccan universities. I could not find any courses or any alliances between Moroccan universities and those. But maybe this is coming. But to survive, we need to do that. The competition is not anymore in the number of students, in the quality of students, is those or the quality of faculty. Now this is changing. This is the way how we deliver education, right? And there is one sentence there is value-based critical and creative thinking becomes a university's unique selling proposition. So the way we sell those services, the way the students will see and those or build their career path within the university. Now I'll be moving to the digital Hive cell number 3, which is the culture. It's really important. It's a tremendous aspect. The culture, if you see the picture in the middle, it's so top factors keeping digital transformation leaders up at night. So in that survey, 67% they mentioned that changing the culture of the organization. this is so important because the culture, the way how to measure culture and what are the frameworks to measure culture is very difficult. So a culture, what is a culture? If we don't split it into other elements like employees, like leadership, like what are the values? The values of our organization are really important. They are not stickers that we stick in the walls. We should believe in those values and work by those values and principles. I know. So one of the I think that we have Sean Robertson. If you are there, Sean, just say hi. He's a friend of mine, living also in Dubai, and he's working in a niche area. He's in consultancy, right? He is working in leadership and culture. He is guiding and supporting big organization in leadership and guidance. And we, after our squash sessions when we play, we speak a lot on how to do that, to make that change so smooth in the culture. That's why in this Hive, it is really important to think about the transversal layer, what we call the management of change. We need a very strong management of change program when we do a digital transformation, because we are transforming from point A to point B. That management of change using any frameworks, the ADKAR frameworks or any other, I'm just mentioning some tools here, ADKAR framework for management of change for you, ADKAR, ADKAR. Let me see if I can write it there. ADKAR, opla. Yeah, thank you. So the way this is only me or maybe other people. Why do I do differentiation between management of change and change management? Because for me, change management is purely an IT aspect. When we have projects and we sign the contract after the elaboration phase of a project, then we cannot have a change to the requirements unless we have a change request. I call that part change management, right? When I speak about management of change, is the management of the change happening or the transformation happening to the organization. This is how I do the difference, so I can avoid any confusion, okay? So when it comes to culture, there are plenty of things that are there. Leadership versus management, a leader versus manager. I'm telling you now something really good about leadership. A leader shows the way, shares the vision, right? Make sure that we are aligned, and he is walking the path or the journey with the team. He's not giving only orders, right? That's a leader. And I'm going a little bit further. A goal of a leader is to make himself redundant. Not most of people, they accept that because they are afraid about their positions. If I am a good leader, I am trying to make myself redundant. What does it mean? Is that the team that I have can work without me because they are fully empowered. They know where they are going and they have all the tools and they have been trained properly. And then I have fostered a safe environment. What does it mean? I have fostered a safe environment. It means that they can fail. Failure is not a problem. It's like fail fast, learn fast. It's really important aspect in agile organization. Fail fast, learn fast, okay? Now we have what we call polish talent. A leader knows how to polish a talent, right? Help them in their career path. We also speak about self-organized and cross-functional teams. Cross-functional team is you have all what is needed to develop a service or to deliver a product. Then we are rather adaptive than prescriptive. We should be agile enough so we can adapt quickly. So this is kind of the culture that we need to have. I'm putting there NWOT for all of you is a new way of thinking. We start by a new way of thinking. We call it NWOT. Okay. I'm moving to the next one, which is really important also for us, what we call skills and talent. For all my friends that are not Moroccan, the pastry in the middle is pastela. So what I mean by that is that when biting that cake, we should not only take it layer by layer, but we should bite it. on a vertical way so we can get that that taste from it. So what are we looking for now in terms of talent and skills in that digital era and when we're transforming? We need, in terms of soft skills, we need critical thinking, how to manage complex communication, creativity, it's really important, collaboration, how to collaborate within team, flexibility and adaptability, productivity and accountability. To be accountable is really, really important, and servant leadership. Now I want to share with you the improvement or the how the profiles of people have evolved. This is the upper right picture that you can see there. So we have moved from an I-shaped to a comb shape. I will explain. When we have a vertical, it is the depth of knowledge. I am an expert. I am an SME, subject matter expert, right? And the horizontal bar is the breadth of knowledge. I am a computer science developer, but I can speak about Agile. I can speak about science. I can speak about football. I can speak about tennis. I have a breadth of knowledge now. So now the companies are more and more looking for a comb-shaped, a T-shaped or a P-shaped are not anymore sufficient. P-shaped, okay, but what we're looking for, some people, I will answer that question. Some people that have a lot of specialities and a huge breadth of knowledge. I have a question from Yassine. Is P-shape the same as a T-shape? No, because a P-shape, you have two specialities, Yassine. You are a developer and you are a really good football player. We cannot beat you in football and we cannot beat you in coding. And you can know plenty of other things. Okay, I hope I answered your question. You have two specialities. You are a specialist in two things. And then the comp shape, what we call the comp shape, is that you have plenty of specialities. You can look it up. We even have the M shape, right? M shape is between P shape and the comp shape. I hope this makes sense, right? So what we should know now in the digital era, and when we are doing a digital transformation, one of the first thing that we do is laying the foundations of a digital transformation. How do we do that? We're going to see it. First is by having the right skills and talent. Because if we don't have the right skills and talent, we are not going anywhere. So the decision for us is, how are we going to recruit these people? You will agree with me, if we have a comp-shaped profile in front of us, it will cost us money, right? They are very expensive. And their CV curriculum vitae is very heavy, right? So those are the challenges that we have. And what we call is the war of talent. Now it's very famous. If you want that guy, a comp-shaped or a P-shaped, the other organization wants him again. So Naima is saying the challenge will also be for university to adapt their story. Yes, perfect. You just took it from. So that's why I wanted to jump to universities. Very good point, Naima. So how universities will guide or accompany the economies this way? How a university will shape a student to be a P-shape or a comp shape? I was discussing the impact of digital transformation on industries. This is also an impact on education system. I want the student, when he is graduating from Al Akhawan University, for instance, to be a P-shape at least, right? So this is the impact. A great point, Naima. Now I will move to the next cell, which is the operating model. You can see NWOD and NWOW, which is the new way of delivery and the new way of working. I will give you an easy definition again of what is an operating model. So an operating model, so every organization has a strategy, right? And to execute that strategy, to reach the phase of execution, they need an operating model. An operating model will translate the strategy to an executive actions or activities, an execution action and activities. You can read it there in the last sentence there. An operating model translates strategic intent into operational capabilities. It articulates how an organization delivers values to its customers or beneficiaries. Okay, so just remember that we say the business model easily is how Are you planning to make money? An operating model is how are you going to translate your strategy into your execution, right? In the operating model, what we call the new way of delivering or delivery, we have what we call the next generation operating model, right? That aligns end-to-end business and IT interactions, right? We have the business case development and we have executive alignment, right? So a kind of a hint for you if you want to deep dive, just type next gen operating model and you have plenty of ideas. If you want to see in agile organization, a next gen operation model, we used to base ourselves on the Spotify model. You all know the Spotify, right? But we just take from there the org site and the operating model, but we scale agility on our way using our proper way. So there is what we call also organizational design, right? What does it mean, organizational design? We are trying more and more to flatten the pyramid, right? To make the decision quickly, right? Top management are one step or one call away, right? From any employee in the organization. We need to flatten, we call it, we are flattening the pyramid, right? So we have new talent model also. We have what we call the processes and practices. We use agile techniques, Scrum, we use Kanban, we use agile tools, right? And then we have a different way of training and coaching. Okay, I will check the question just later on. Just let me speak about the NWOW. This is really important, right? Here you can see the CEO of Microsoft speaking about it, right? So what I mean by that is the environment that you have where you're working, right? The focus is always on the employees. We need to give them the right environment for them to be productive and creative. Give them the various tools and applications. A tool cannot be only a tool, a software, but a tool can be a very good table, a standing table, a whiteboards, a rest area, I don't know, table tennis, billiardo and thing. This is what we call, and I mentioned there someone is writing. I think Naima again, she's mentioning the Google, right? I have been in the headquarters in Google in Dublin, and the way of working or the environment is amazing. I can tell you also when I have been in Amazon services, in their headquarters, they have given their employees a kind of a card, and they have vending machines, right? He just swipe a card and he can take a new mouse, he can take a new keyboard, he can take a new headset, he can do whatever. It's really great. It's just a vending machine and with his card. It's really cool. So the idea is how to make the environment good for the employee to be productive and innovate. This is what we call the new ways of working, right? So again, there is what we call the shift that is required. I'm going to go quickly on this one, but you all know the agile organization, they shift, right? From project teams to fixed and cross-functional product teams. Please, you can go and Google project to product management is really a trendy topic. Project to product management. We don't manage projects anymore on initiatives. We manage products. Funding and strategic planning. It's been changed by what we call capacity-based funding by a product. We look at our capacity and we start doing funding, right? Or budgeting. Business engagement, job families and talents, you know, we have what we call product owner organization. This is changing the way business and talent are doing, you know, product owner. Okay, Yassine is mentioning McPherson book. Yes, great. It's project to product. It's really important. Thank you very much. It's a really good book. Thanks for highlighting, Yassine. Go and read it. It's really important. You will see where we're taking the organization. We don't think anymore about projects or project management. If you have in your vision to become a project manager, please review and read about product management. You will understand and you will see how you are going to shift right in your career. Supporting functions is really important, right? The support functions. Agility is not within business departments. It has to be with all the supporting functions. What do I call supporting function? A supporting function can be HR, can be procurement, can be, before IT was a supporting function. Now IT is more than a partner. IT is a business. You cannot do business without IT. Finance is a supporting function. Please, if you want also to deep dive in what do we mean by supporting function and how to make them align, there is the value chain analysis by Michael E. Porter. Again, just check the value chain from Michael E. Porter. I really like Michael E. Porter. It will show you what are the primary activities or functions and the secondary functions of an organization. A secondary function is what we call a supporting function. Okay, then last but not least, the leadership and people management. We are moving towards empowerment. We are giving the right to people to make decisions on the spot. Self-organization, self-organized team. They organize themselves. They decide on how they are going to work. So those are the shifts that are happening in the new ways of delivery and the new ways of working. Lastly is the digital hive, which is number 6, which is technology. You know that technology is the underlying layer of all digital transformation. So here what we are talking about, not to go a lot in technical details, we are looking to new IT architecture. Why? We need to address the issues that we have in slow and time-consuming maintenance. Maintenance is what we call run the business, right? Cloud-ready and cloud-native platforms in order to have elastic scalability and increased resilience. Someone quickly, I know that we still have lived. So a difference between cloud ready and cloud native applications or platforms. I know this is a kind of technical, but it's really good to know because it's very trendy and it's really important. Cloud ready versus cloud native. Anyone in the chat or by mic? Okay, so I will go ahead. Okay, so cloud native platform of application is that the application that we have from scratch, building it using the principles of cloud. We started it from scratch using the principles or the guidelines of cloud. A cloud ready application is legacy applications, what we call legacy, old applications that we have modified and changed to become a little bit adaptable to the cloud era. That's the difference, right? So the idea here in all organizations, when we do digital transformation, we speak about decommissioning of legacy applications. What does it mean? Why do we decommission legacy applications? Because we cannot modify them or change them to be cloud ready. And if we leave them in the organization, in our ecosystem of applications, it will hinder our scalability and it will also hinder our resilience. Resilience is the way we act, or an application or organization act to a certain pressure or a problem. How good we are when we have problems or when we have pressure on us. Okay. The next point is build an ecosystem that allows other players to integrate with our environment. I will give you a simple, how do we do that? We have APIs. People from outside, they can call APIs or our microservices. Please, you can go and look for REST APIs or APIs and microservices. One of the biggest changes in the financial industry or the banking, it's what we call open banking. You can go and also search what does it mean open banking. It's that when banks, they open their ecosystem or their systems via APIs and microservices. Any other fintech or lending club, they can call those APIs. So what enhance data management to support business in decision making. It's really important. As I mentioned earlier, we have terabytes and terabytes of data, but the idea is to add a layer of business intelligence. Is we have reports, but how we are going to read those reports, how we're going to extract the right information to help top management to take the right decision at the right moment. This is using the big data, enterprise data warehouses, data lakes sometimes, right? So we call also core system consolidations. It's really important in banking and in other industries, is that when we have different versions of a core application, we try to consolidate in one version. Why? It will reduce our costs, it will increase efficiencies, and we have less less maintenance. Okay. Revamp the infrastructure and technology stack in order to increase elasticity and flexibility. It's really important. What is an infrastructure stack? An infrastructure stack in an organization is what we call the services and the resources that are provided by infrastructure platform. What does it mean? I give you an example. In an organization, we have computing power. Is a service, is an infrastructure. Telecommunication, managing telecommunication, and storage. That also can be a service from an infrastructure stack. Now, when it comes to technology stack, there are the techniques and the tools and the services that are used to build and maintain an application or application in organization. One of the most famous, for you guys that are doing computer science, the most famous tech stack, we call it tech stack, is the web service stack. We call LAMP. LAMP stands for Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. That's what we call a web service stack. And we have plenty of tech stacks that we use for mobile apps or online websites. This is how we define the technology. So this is how the technology is supporting a digital transformation, and this is where all organizations are going to have a successful digital transformation. I am in the last slides. I just want to ask any questions there. Do you have any questions until now? I know that I was a little bit quick at the end, but yeah. Okay, I have a question. I will keep. Yeah, it's a good question coming from Dr. Abdeslam, which is, by the way, my uncle. Thank you for the question, uncle. I was thinking you were supporting me, right? So for the people who does not know CMMI is Capability Maturity Model Integration, right? So we use let me uncle, if you allow me, I will just generalize it as all the maturity assessment frameworks, because we have a lot. So in our transformation journey, so to move from point A to point B, we need to know where we are at certain points, right? So we start by doing an initial assessment when we start any transformation using any framework, be it CMMI, be it ETL is not a framework, an assessment framework, but there are plenty. COBIT also we can use in governance. So we start by doing an initial assessments, so we know what we are, and then we set a target. We need to improve by this and this in different areas. For instance, for CMMI, we have levels, right? From level 1 until level 5, where we use where we have an improvement cycle, a very strong improvement cycle, right? So, and at the middle of the transformation, we redo the maturity assessment to check where we are and what are the most important thing. When we do a maturity assessment, we need to keep in mind that we need to have a very clear actions that are defined. We are not doing an assessment for the sake of doing assessment. I worked in an organization where we did assessment as a tick box. We have done it. No, we need to extract from it the direction or the way going forward and a clear backlog of improvement actions. And then at the end of the transformation, we can do again an assessment to see where we have ended and what's the level of maturity we're at. The idea is the transformation is a never-ending process, right? When a transformation ends, maybe another one starts. I hope, Dr. Abdeslam, I have answered your question.
You did. Thank you.
Thank you, Edwin, my friend. Thank you, Edwin, who is also a CEO and the founder of. I will share the name of the company he's working on on an agile organization who delivers tools for organization. I think it's ativo.io. Ativo.io it's a really great tool helping organizations to map their the value of the customers, the value with the development happening in the agile side. Thank you for joining, Edwin. I just want you also to reflect on that. I'm putting it as a takeaway, but it's just a quote there. In a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. In a chronically leaking boat, energy devoted to changing vessels is more productive than energy devoted to patching leaks. What does it mean? Sometimes we need to change our approach completely. We need to transform completely. You know, you remember the difference between digital change and the digital transformation? You know, patching the leaks here and there. When you have a bathtub, just think about it in your house, and you have plenty of leaks, and all the time it's better for you to change the bathtub completely. Yes, exactly, Camille. Sunk cost fallacy. So now I will open quickly if you have any questions, because this is the last slides. Any other questions? And I hope that you enjoyed my the talk today and the discussion, and I hope that you had great takeaways from this webinar. And as I mentioned, and maybe this is a hint for the guys organizing the tech talk, the Akhawin tech talk, the elements of value webinar is a really great one. So maybe we can organize something in that. It's a really great webinar. Yes, Sin is saying you are right. We need to disrupt ourselves internally before we get disruption from the outside. Exactly. So think about mapping the journeys between the employee and the customer journey. So disrupting internally is understanding how the employees are going through the operating model. Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Koubaa. I mean, it's for the great talk. Well, I see some questions here. I mean, besides the one that was.
So from Kautar, I see that she's saying either disrupt or be disrupted.
Yeah.
It's really good. I mentioned during the talks that transform or die.
I mean, there is something also a challenge. I mean, besides the culture within the organization, and how you are going to operate the change, how you are going to transform your business. There is what we call, I mean, the ecosystem itself, the outside ecosystem, government, regulations. Businesses you are competing with locally. I mean, all these need to be taken into consideration, right?
Yes.
And I mean, the whole country, for example, in terms of how. Yeah, I mean.
That's a really good point, and then I'm joining into the question from Dr. Abdeslam there. What do you think to provide one about digital transformation roadblocks? So I can find a lot. The first one is the external environment. What do I mean by that? Is the regulators, right? The government. I'm just giving you just an example from cloud, because everyone is going cloud, right? Now there is cloud and there is GDPR, the data management, right? Now most of the regulators are asking you to have a data center within your geographical area, within your country. You can see that Microsoft went to Bahrain, to UAE, for instance, and to Morocco to build their data centers. Why? Because the government pushing them to do that. I cannot host my data. I cannot go cloud using Azure if I don't have it in Morocco. So the regulations are changing, are a big headers. I mentioned about skills and talent. This is also a huge roadblock, because with all the technologies, let's speak about data engineers, DevOps engineers are really rare and scarce in the world. So if you want, you need to go for that war of talent. That's what we call the war of talent. So those are and as I mentioned, the culture. how you're going to change the culture. You have people working there for years and years, and they were telling you it was working like that. Why should I change? Right? So the culture also is an important roadblock. Something also that is really important is that when organizations, they skip that layer, which is the operating model, they move from strategy to execution directly. They don't give you the mean to execute that strategy, which is the operating model that translates the strategy into execution. I hope I answered the question, and I hope I answered your question, Dr. Shakiri.
Thank you.
Very good session, Tarek. I'm just reading. Yes, thank you, Sachin. Rita, earlier it was mentioned that using social media platform is not necessarily DT. What would make it DT? Here am I taking off how Chinese is enabling people. Yes, exactly. Rita, you have answered your question. So just being in a social media for the sake of being in social media without getting value or money from there, it's not disruptive enough, and it's not a digital transformation, right? So that's what actually you mentioned. Now people are selling in Instagram, people are selling in Facebook, for instance, and other platforms, right? This is what we can call a digital transformation, because why? You have changed your business processes to reach some customers, to give them value where they are. Think about omnichannels, right? You have added a new channel to your lines of channels. Okay, Rita, I hope I answered your question. Jen, Robertson is talking about mindset and culture. It's really how to be ready for that change. Good webinar. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Okay. Ambika, thank you for coming. Yasin, thanks a lot. I think we should call it now.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure for me. Yeah. Thank you. You can eat it with flowers or tomatoes. It's a screen anyway. It's a good. Yes. Or yeah, or maybe if Dr. Tajdeen also wanted to say something, or.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's. Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Tarik, for this great talk. I mean, it's really impressive. We would like to kind of stretch the time a little bit to have more information. Unfortunately, we are kind of limited in terms of time. Thank you very much, and we would like also, I mean, who knows, we can, I mean, have another webinar regarding other topics that might interest our attendees. I mean, I would like also to thank all the attendees who came and shared with us, I mean, their questions, their interaction, and it was very interactive indeed. And I invite you to attend our next webinar. It will be taking place this coming Friday, not tomorrow, the next Friday, with our keynote speaker, Dr. Bushra Bukhta from Amazon. She will deliver a talk about, regarding, machine learning. So join us next Friday, and thank you very much. See you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Naima. Could we have the presentation, please? Oh, that's my anchor. It's a family affair. I want to say how much you want to pay for it, but that's a family affair.
Okay, thank you very much.
As I mentioned, it's a personal creation of the